Dear Nick de Vries, produce better results by the end of the Spanish Grand Prix or prepare to be replaced, said Helmut Marko to the youngster, well not really youngster, the oldster Nick de Vries. And that's right, Aussie Daniel Ricciardo is set to replace him. But before this, Daniel was set to test the current Red Bull car in an FP1 session in the Canadian Grand Prix. But no, Daniel is not moving to Red Bull. It looks like he's only going to complete an FP1 session so far, unless something changes. Ricciardo has been limited to simulator work this season, but he's finally going to get his long-awaited return to a track later this season. In an interview with DAZN, he confirmed that he'll be driving the RB19 in July after Silverstone. He's even getting a Pirelli tyre test. Wow, they're really doing everything for him. But what are the goals of these tests, you ask? He sees it as an opportunity to remind Red Bull's hierarchy of what he can do in an F1 car. He's excited to drive again and show what he can do in a fast lap. But that's not all, folks. Ricciardo claims he has unfinished business with Formula 1, despite being made redundant from McLaren with a year left on his contract. Ouch, that's gotta hurt. And it still does, to be fair. Now, there's been a lot of talk about a feud between Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen, and the expectation was that Ricciardo would replace the Mexican driver. But with Perez sort of now in title contention, this has sort of been rewound. Daniel Ricciardo's opportunity might not come at Red Bull though, but rather their sister team, Scuderia AlphaTauri. But this as well could be as early as the Canadian Grand Prix, some reports are saying. It seems that de Vries, AlphaTauri's current lead driver, is facing some heat from the Red Bull consult, Dr. Helmut Marko, who's allegedly given him just 3 more races. And who's the rumoured replacement, you might ask? It's Nicholas Latifi. It's Daniel Ricciardo, I've already said it. In fact, Daniel Ricciardo has even been spotted in Faenza, I don't know how you say it, AlphaTauri's HQ for a seat fitting, I imagine. Some reports also saying that this could be because of Scotty James, his longtime friend's wedding, but others are saying he's also gone to AlphaTauri. Now, in my mind, I'm sort of joining the dots. Nick de Vries not doing well, given a limited number of time left in Formula 1 if he doesn't perform. And let's be honest, we don't think he will. We've got Daniel Ricciardo, who's been around the paddock a lot more than usual. We've got a seat fitting. We've got a confirmed FP1 session before the summer break. Maybe he'll make a return after the summer break. But on the flip side, some could say this. Daniel had the opportunity to go to Haas or maybe Williams for 2023. And yet he said he wanted to take time out and not really go to a back market team. And yet AlphaTauri seems to be one of the worst cars on the grid, if not the worst. We've got the likes of Yuki Tsunoda, who's arguably the most consistent driver on the grid at the moment, getting P10s and 11s almost every single race. Scratch that, he is getting that every single race. Whereas Nick de Vries is getting P18s, qualifying P20, P16, P17, all these awful results. So with Daniel joining the team, it will show us the real AlphaTauri pace. Is it really bad and Nick de Vries is sort of performing at the level it should be and Yuki Tsunoda is really overperforming and out-driving that car? Or is Yuki just driving normally and Nick de Vries is awful? Only time will tell. And then what about Daniel Ricciardo? Imagine he gets beaten by Yuki Tsunoda. That would be insane. It would be an uproar and he'd be sacked as well. But reports have also come out that Helmut Marko is saying he doesn't really want Daniel Ricciardo in that seat. He said that AlphaTauri is a junior team for a reason. It's meant to be for the young, developing Red Bull drivers. And let's be honest, Daniel Ricciardo is not going back to Red Bull. Well, in my opinion, anyway. Liam Lawson is sort of dominating in Super Formula, winning his first ever race on debut. Maybe like Iwasa in Formula 2, who's currently the only person with 2 wins. Other than Ollie Behrman, but that doesn't matter. What about Dennis Hauger, their Formula 3 champion? Or the likes of Enzo Fittipaldi, Isaac Hadjar? They got so many other drivers